One late night in Paris, Driss is driving his employer Philippe through the city. When waiting in traffic gets too boring, Driss breaks the speed limit and begins driving quite fast, dodging other cars and not caring about traffic signs. This causes the police to go after him, and Driss bets €100 that he can lose them. But after driving under a bridge, the cops catch up by ambushing them from both sides. Driss doesn't look too worried though, and this time, he bets €200 that he can get them an escort. The cops make him leave the car, and he starts acting then, behaving offendedly and telling them Philippe can't move, and he was taking him to the hospital. The officers find proof of this when they find the wheelchair in the truck, and, when approaching Philippe, they see him convulsing, which is also an act. Seeing as it's an emergency, the cops forgive Driss for breaking the speed limit and offer themselves as escorts on his way to the hospital. To celebrate winning the bet, Driss plays September by Earth, Wind and Fire, and when they arrive at their destination, he shares a smoke with Philippe. As soon as the cops are gone, Driss promises he'll handle it and drives them away just before the hospital staff could find them. This friendship began many months ago. Philippe and his assistant Magalie are holding interviews to find a new caretaker for him, saying they won't hire him so he can get in on Magalie. But Philippe finds him amusing, back to his home in a humble neighborhood and tries to take a bath while all his little siblings bother him, only managing to get it done in time thanks to his sister Mina, who is out of nowhere as if her home was a hotel. As she's absolutely done with all his lies and she has other children she has to month trial, and Philippe tells him he bets he won't. Philippe, he must learn how to keep his legs stimulated, how to put him in the wheelchair, how to help him shower and change his clothes. Things get awkward when Driss discovers he must put on him some high stockings and even clean his butt after Philippe uses the bathroom. But no matter how much he complains and says he won't do those chores, he ends up accepting them as part of his job. Later in the evening, while he's enjoying a snack on the roof, like handing the phone to Philippe instead of putting it on his ear or forgetting the baby monitor while having a bath, he also learns to organize his mail in different folders, most of the letters he opens for Philippe. But there's a series of private ones he isn't allowed to look at. When he finds a flyer promoting female escorts, he decides to start a file just for those instead of throwing them in the trash, as Philippe says. It's not all work in this new life, though. Driss still makes sure to have a good time. He keeps trying to hit on Magalie to no avail, and some weird sounds coming from the baby monitor. Philippe is having trouble breathing, not being capable to ignore him even if he tries. Covers him with blankets and takes him out for a stroll by the river. This is the first time Philippe has seen Paris at night in a long time, and now he's more relaxed. He explains in session that bad weather caused him to crash and break his vertebrae, although he still thinks his real handicap isn't the chair but living without his wife. After joking around some more, Philippe remembers the date and realizes Driss has passed his 1-month trial, so he's now officially hired. But he needs to start by bringing back the Fabergé he stole, who is very late. After waiting for an hour, Philippe gives up, calls Driss to ask him to take him away, and then leaves the restaurant without noticing. The loner is arriving at the same time. That same night, Philippe takes Driss with him in his private plane and gives him the money he got for selling the picture, making him immeasurably happy. They make it to the countryside the next morning, and Philippe decides to go paragliding, dragging Driss with him as well. Driss doesn't want anything to do with it, but after initially freaking out, he ends up enjoying the experience. When they return home, Adama is there waiting for Driss. After Baston has brought his daily croissant while wearing a better hairdo, Driss packs his bags and gets ready to go. Magalie comes to say her goodbyes, and when Driss tries to hit on her one last time, Magalie introduces him to his significant other Fred, which is short for Frederica. Turns out Magalie isn't interested in men, and Driss gives up on the spot. On his way out of the house, he gives the baby monitor back to Yvonne and teases her for having lied to him about Magalie just to mess with him. In return, she gives him the escort file he had started, and he's disappointed to find the picture he had chosen is hidden there. Driss throws away the file, but he keeps the photo for himself. Once outside, he finds a car once again blocking the entrance, so he asks him to move away even if he doesn't work there anymore. When Adama calls him out for it, Driss says is a matter of principle. A few hours later, is having his first dinner together with his new caretaker, who is stuffy and boring, and Philippe decides to leave him without even having a bite. Since Yvonne is out on a date with and is in a constant bad mood with his phantom pain, so Yvonne calls Driss and asks him to come over. That's how they find themselves in the situation from the beginning, with the cops chasing after them first and escorting them to the hospital later. After that little adventure, Driss drives Philippe to the coast, and the sight of the sea helps Philippe calm down. Sometime later, Driss takes care of Philippe's overgrown beard before taking him to a restaurant for lunch, but he doesn't stay because someone else will be making Philippe also married with 3 children. The two men continue to be very close friends to this day.